I'm suffering with a pretty nasty skin condition right now. You might be able to see around my eyes, which is an awful place to try to treat. And I say this to you because what I want to talk about today is how to do good work in bad times. This is a bad time for me because this skin condition is affecting my sleep. I go to bed right now and over the past couple of weeks or so, and I'm just itching all over my body. Sounds nasty, right? Sounds like this guy must be doing something weird, like, what's your diet like, dude? Everything is dialed in, even more so over these past couple of weeks than usual, which is, my diet is usually pretty clean. I keep good sleep habits. I'm with the sun, circadian rhythm, all of that. I'm pretty dialed in. Stress is a common factor for skin conditions. Well, I'm teaching mindfulness. My home practice is super dialed in. So no big stresses here. No underlying subconscious tension. No tension in the body. I'm checking all of these bases. Still, somehow, as it goes sometimes in life, things just aren't all working correctly. My ducks are not all lined up in a row. And the duck that is wandering off right now is sleep. As you're no doubt aware, sleep is super important, especially for those of us who are designing our own work schedules and then also, of course, completing those work schedules. So I'm out here online as a solopreneur, if you like. I design my own work schedule. I then carry out a series of tasks which are highly cognitively demanding, demands a lot of mental power to do the creative work that I do. As such, a lack of sleep is an issue. So I want to talk about how I navigate this kind of a time and how you can too. I want to spend some time talking about how self-improvement often makes it sound as though you have to be at your best and that nothing else will do. You have to have your sleep dialed in. You have to have your nutrition dialed in. You have to be exercising 5 times a week. You have to have your relationships all in order. You have to. If it's not all perfect, if you don't have your perfectly refined morning routine, evening routine, etc., if you don't turn off your screens an hour before bed, if you don't time your caffeine intake perfectly following wake up, then everything's going to go to shit. Well, I'm demonstrating that that's not the case right now. I can certainly tell you I'm not at 100% capacity, but I'm at 80 or 90. I'm able to write what I need to write for social media, but most importantly, and what I really want to focus on today, is how well I'm doing as a coach right now. I feel really good about my performance as a coach right now. And in fact, this is one thing that by a combination of practice and one other really important ingredient, which I'm going to get to, I have been able to consistently show up and perform in, regardless of my condition, for many, many years already at this point. Now, the practice part is I've been teaching and coaching for over 20 years at this point. In my previous life, I was a music teacher, and so I would see many, many people each day coming to me for lessons on how to play drums. That is a career which was always at least somewhat aligned. And this is the second big ingredient that I want to talk about, and the most important by far is alignment. The reason I'm able to sit at this desk and be there for students of mine who are going through enormous emotional turmoil at the moment, the reason I'm also able to show up and coach people on how to run their one-person business and make money online, is because these things are deeply aligned for me. If you asked me in this phase of my life, with my lack of sleep and sleep quality, to show up and talk to people about math or about landscape gardening or about insurance or about pretty much anything else, I wouldn't be able to do it very well at all. I would not be able to compromise. The only reason I'm able to show up as well right now as I do when my sleep is perfect and everything's running at full capacity is because I enjoy this work as much as I enjoy anything else I might do. So, during these sleepless nights recently, the first thing that I think of to do is to write something, or right now I'm building a new website for my blog in Webflow. Those are the things that I would most like to do. Now, I don't do them because those would activate the mind. Ideas would start forming, and that would make it less likely that I would then find that restful state and drift off to sleep when I go back to bed. So I don't do those things, but they're the things that I want to do. I want to move forward in this grand mission of mine to normalize well-being. Similarly, when my coaching calls show up in my day, I want to do them. They're my favorite thing to do. Naturally, that means they're easy to do. I want to work on my mission, and I want to show up for these students of mine who are very dear to me in the same way as I might want to watch a movie or play a video game or go to a restaurant or do any other leisure activity that you might imagine. And I've been thinking about this over this past little while. Alignment is a topic that's always been close to my heart, but I've been really thinking about it over these past couple of weeks while my sleep has been so poor, because it just really demonstrates for me the power of alignment. If the work that I were doing were not so aligned, I would be struggling right now. I'd really be struggling. Another facet of this is that the work really feeds me. I feel nourished after those coaching calls. So I give you this story today to encourage you to find that aligned work, whatever it looks like for you. Maybe it is selling insurance. That's a demonstration, an example rather, that's always top of mind for me, because my father was an insurance broker throughout his entire career, and we often joke, he and I, about just how different we are in the work that we've chosen to do and in which we excelled. He excelled as an insurance broker. I couldn't imagine a worse fate. But what's important is that you find what's aligned for you. What do you most care about? What is it that you would do that feels like it occupies the same space in your life as instant gratification activities like video games, social media, whatever else it is that you do for fun? That's where you're going to be most competitive. And I implore you to make a career around that thing which feels most aligned for you. Now, there's almost certain to be a transition period. Like I said, my previous career was always somewhat aligned. I've always loved music. I made a good career as a musician, and I enjoyed deeply teaching people how to play music. It wasn't as aligned as what I'm doing now. Now I help people in a deeper way. I help people with more severe problems, and that feels more worthwhile to me. As great as it is to teach people to play music, as important as it is that we all have access to the arts, this to me feels like more worthwhile work, more aligned work. Maybe there are folks out there who are more passionate about music than I am, and who couldn't imagine doing anything else. In fact, I would claim the best musicians among us are probably in that camp. Couldn't imagine doing anything else with their lives. And they indeed are the people who should be playing music for us throughout their entire lives. Maybe that's you. What I want to do now is guide you through a meditation for encountering, discovering, unearthing what you most care about. And before we go into that, I just want to say again, there is likely to be a transition period in your life. You're probably doing something for work right now, and it's going to take some time to set up, usually online. You know, the guidance that I give people in business is how to set up online as a personal brand in a position to help people with that which you most care about. This takes time. I've written a 240-step guide on exactly how to do this, and it does take time. The time frame I give, typically 6 to 12 months, with some dedication and drive and motivation and alignment. Most important is the alignment piece. When I was during that transition phase, I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning consistently to work on this new online business before then going out and teaching music in schools, teaching music at my own studio. Then I was coming back in the evenings and continuing to work. I was working in between music students. And again, that was easy because the work is aligned. So this is what I want for you, friend. This is what I want for everyone. So let's close our eyes together and let's enjoy a short guided meditation / contemplation on this subject of discovering what is it that's most aligned for you? What is it that you care most about? What is it that you most want to share with the world, given that that is what will help people most? This is where you're at your most powerful. So this could well be one of the most powerful meditations that you'll do, one of the most powerful contemplations that you'll make. So with me, when you're ready, 3 long, slow, deep breaths. I'll talk to you a little bit about the power of the breath as you continue those long, slow, deep breaths. When you place your attention on your breath, you're present. You're not ruminating on the past. You're not worried about the future. Also, the long, slow, deep breath, as the opposite to the short, sharp, shallow breath, tells your physiology that you're safe, that everything is okay right now. So if you've been stressed throughout the day, this is the way to signal to your system that those stressors are over now. It's time to calm down. Now consider, slowly, gently, what do you find yourself doing when there's nothing else to do? If you're busy like so most of us are here in 2024, there might not be many times when there's nothing else to do. Well, that's okay. You may have to cast your memory back years to consider a time when there was nothing else to do. If you don't get time to do the thing, it might be that you just read about it online or that you watch YouTube videos on it. What is it that draws your curiosity most? What is it that you care about the most? What is it that you feel would improve everyone else's life if they just understood it or had the time to approach it like you do? Maybe you feel that deep sea fishing would enrich everyone's life if they took it up. And it's not that everyone has to agree with you on this. But when you go out into the world and you start sharing about what you care about most, you will attract your tribe. And indeed, the internet is big enough. We're all connected enough in 2024 that everyone can find their tribe. And it doesn't matter who's outside that tribe. Of course, deep sea fishing is not for everyone. Mindfulness is not for everyone. I guarantee there will be people who bounced right off this video as soon as they heard the word meditation. Fine. They can go and find someone else to tribe up with. I'll be over here with the meditators. You can be over there with your deep sea fishers. We're looking for whatever it is, without bias, without judgment, that you care about the most. Maybe you've been told that the thing that you care about most can't be a career. I call bullshit. No one who understands how the internet works in 2024 will tell you that. Because what we're seeing more and more during this creative renaissance, the rise of the creator economy, is that anyone who takes the time to learn how to share about what they care about can make a living doing so. If that sounds mysterious, don't worry. I'm here to guide you through that. It all begins with this: figuring out what is your thing. Not by means of thinking too hard about it. We're not doing an abstract thinking exercise here. We're more in the realm of feeling and of examining your past experience to find the clues to what is your zone of genius, so to speak. That doesn't mean you have to be an expert in it yet. There is room for you to grow into this. Indeed, many successful one-person businesses have been started around people stepping into their zone of genius with whatever it is that they most care about, and bringing interested readers or viewers or listeners along on that journey with them. I've seen many friends begin social media accounts and just share what they're learning about writing, about video editing, about design, about marketing, about graphic design, web design, copywriting, e-commerce, hula hooping, video games. Anything goes. Anything goes. If I'm able to sit here and speak to you as someone who's making a living teaching people mindfulness and meditation, then you can do it with anything. So casting all external opinions aside, what is it that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life? What is it that you would be doing each day if you already had $1 billion in the bank? Imagine you've had your honeymoon period, you've gone on all the holidays you want to go on, you've bought all the cars you want to buy. What do you do next? What's your contribution to humanity, given that your needs are taken care of? Your needs will be taken care of in the business model that I teach. You don't need to worry about that. It's the going ahead and representing online that which you most care about that guarantees your new livelihood. So that you don't care if you have $1 billion or not. I call this free-tirement. Because you're going to love your new career so much that the idea of old-fashioned retirement seems absurd to you. Why would you ever want to stop working on what you most care about? Why would you ever want to stop sharing that with people? This is the life that I live. This is why I'm able to show up to work, in air quotes, regardless of what condition I'm in. A single contemplation like we've done here may very well not be enough for you to put a finger on what your thing is. That's fine. You can return to this video as many times as you need. And if you need help, be sure to reach out. I'm here to support. I'll sign off here, but feel free to sit for as long as you like. You may also find benefit in journaling following this contemplation. I'm rooting for you.